Molly Guy is the founder and owner of Stone Fox Bride, the popular wedding boutique for the alternative bride. We sat down over tea to talk pursuing her passion and trusting the journey.
Where should I start in the journey?
The most exciting place. or the most emotionally difficult, really whatever you're
I was going to say, like, the most exciting for me tends to be, like, the most, like, bleak and miserable.
Okay, that's perfect.
I spent so much of my life, like, lying in bed, like, willing things to happen, like, visualizing, making it happen, and so much of that stuff did happen, but looking back on it, I feel like if I had loosened the reins quite a bit, I probably would have been a lot happier. There's this quote, I think it's Allen Ginsberg, that like, don't fool yourself, the light at the end of the tunnel is usually just the glare of the incoming train. Like, when you get so stuck on something. I rewrote my book, but I got really hung up on the edits, and I kept rewriting it and rewriting it and rewriting it, and during this time I took a job that I really hated, and I took another job that I really hated, and was just, like, spinning my wheels. Like, I felt so unhappy. And during this time I got married, and while I was getting married, like, the only respite from my shitty job was going to look at, like, the flower places and planning the menu and the cake tasting and looking for dresses and just kind of, like, creatively brainstorming. And I also noticed, like, when I was at work trying to, like, plan my wedding, I couldn't, like, find that, like, fun website that I wanted to, like, dive into and, like, get lost in and procrastinate from. Like, there was no, like, wedding culture that I identified with. After I got married, which was really fun, I felt really sad when it was over because it was, like, the one thing that had really, like, sustained me. I said to a friend of mine, too bad I can't get married full-time as a career because I really enjoyed it and I was really good at it. You know, I had this idea for a wedding store that would be really beautiful wedding dresses and just, like, a pretty curated shop. Just said that's a good idea, that doesn't exist. And one thing led to another, and that was 3 years ago this month, and that was how it all started.
What would you like to see flourish in your life?
I would like for my business to flourish as a result of me, like, really taking the time to do the hard thing, which is not just, like, put my head in the clouds and, like, get on the Pinterest board, but really, like, assess the numbers and make smart moves based on the hard facts, based on the numbers.
What is your most complex relationship?
Probably my relationship to my mom. It's a constant battleground of like, cognitive dissonance. Like, on the one hand, there's so much love and there's so much joy, and then there's also, and I'm sure she feels it too, this, like, the disappointment, the confusion, the longing, the loss.
Did a lot change for you after you had your daughter in terms of your relationship with your mom?
I, like, look at my daughter who's just, like, so obsessed with me. She's 2 years old, and that, you know, it's probably a few more years till she, like, is embarrassed of me and doesn't want to be seen with me, and then till she hates me, and then till she wants my car keys, and then, you know what I mean? But like, the whole time, like, I think it's our job as a mother just to be, like, present and not swayed by our daughter's, like, emotional insanities. But it must be but it's hard for both parties, I think. I think I just became much more sensitive to probably her side of the story.
What is your most grounding ritual that you do?
Take a hot bath. When I really, at the end of the day, take a super, 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 super hot bath.
It's nice to do that at the end of the day. I always mostly in the morning.
You can't, there are no such thing as mornings when you have a child.
Fair enough, fair enough. What do you feel comes most naturally to you, and what do you feel sort of you struggle to navigate the most?
What do you mean?
Like, I want to be brave, and it's hard. That's probably the thing that's hardest for me, right? And the thing that comes most naturally to me is probably, like, my friendships and my relationships, and both are, like, valuable, but, like, you know, one's easy.
I think the older I get, the more aware I become of how much I have this need to be liked, and I'm aware of how much time I waste trying to, like, be liked or be funny or be cool or be easygoing, and it's a real waste of time and of money. Like, especially when I first opened my business, I had employees and I was just, like, wanted them to like me. Looking back on it now, it's just, like, such a waste. You know, it's so much easier to, like, smile and brush things under the rug than saying, like, this is totally unacceptable and this is not gonna work, and let's sit down and figure out how this doesn't happen again. Like, I don't want to fucking do that. I'm a second child. Like, I'm a Pisces. It's the last thing I want to do. It's the last thing I want to do.
As a middle child and as sort of like a natural people pleaser, what keeps you going through those moments when you're like, this is all on me?
You're not doing anyone any favors when you don't. When someone in a leadership role doesn't act like a leader, and so it's like in my employees' best interest for me to be a leader and not to like cower and be cowardly and wishy-washy. And it helps me to remember that there are women that are getting married that are in need of the service that I'm providing. So in order for me to make that service available, I have to show up and do my job. There's like women that I admire, like Kim Gordon or Julianne Moore or Marguerite Duras or Louise Bourgeois or Michelle Obama or Margaret Thatcher. I mean, anyone. I would imagine that very few of those women really give a shit about how they're liked, or I would like to think they don't so much. It's just they care about like who they're showing up for and what their message is, and fulfilling like their meaning.